Hello, students, friends, viewers, and whoever is watching my video. Hopefully, all of you are doing good and are healthy and preparing for your exams in a better way. I have started a new topic in my ordination series of videos, that is ethics, which is very important from especially not just at advanced level. It is also very, very, very important at F8 or AA. You can say ordinations level, especially for ACCA students, and it is equally important for other professional qualification as well, because ethics is common in all these professional qualifications, right? So today we will proceed further in ethics. In my previous video, I was discussing about the code of ethics of ACCA and other professional qualification, about the code of conduct and code of ethics of IFAC. And before that, I have also discussed why ethics is very important in our profession. So today we will move towards the ACCA code of ethics, obviously. But uh, in in ACCA code of ethics, there are five, you can say, components. Those are very, very important, not just from examination purpose, but it is equally important from practical life as well. So let's start. uh, so let's move further. What is for you here? Yes, you can see the slide. ACCA fundamental principles. Today we are gonna learn about the ACCA fundamental principles. Those are very, very important from, like I said, from examination point of view, and from practical approach as well. So you have to uh, be aware of these fundamental principles, and you have to apply in your practical life as well. So let's start reading. The first slide is about the fundamental principle establish the standard of behavior expected of a professional accountant. These fundamental principles uh, are not just ethically important, it should be in your behavior, that how you are acting in certain ethical situations. Uh, like law that is rigid, then you must have to follow. In ethics, there is a subjectivity issue as well. So you can't say that these are rigid components, but you must have to follow like a law. You can say like a law. If you are a professional accountant, this is expected from you. If you are an ACCA, if you are from any other professional qualification that is attached to IFAC, this is expected from you. You can say it should be implicit in your behavior, it should be implicit in your professional life. Means if you're going somewhere, it should be reflecting from you that you are from a professional accountancy body, and you have pursued uh, some professional qualification. So that is why these five components, that is IPOC, I say objectivity, professional behavior, professional competence, integrity, and confidentiality. Let's start with the objectivity. Objectivity we have a little bit discussed in our previous video, but objectivity is more closer to independence, because if you are independent, there should be an objectivity, there would be an objectivity. Okay, are you getting my point? Hopefully. A professional accountant must not allow bias, conflicts of interest, or undue influence of others to compromise professional judgment or business judgments. Means your judgment, your professional judgment, your professional viewpoint must not be biased, must not be under influence of others. For example, it is more closer to external audit, because we are learning audit and assurance. So I will take an example of an audit assurance again. If you are in a firm and going to the client, and you have to make certain judgments, and you have to, for example, you're working on IS 37, and you have to make provisions, and you are making some provisions like for depreciation or bad debts. But if your judgment and if your professional, you can say, professional judgment is compromising by the management, that this is not objectivity. The objectivity means you should be free from any influence. You should be free from any influence, like I have already discussed in independence topic when I was discussing in my last video. So objectivity means independent, means your viewpoint, your viewpoint, your suggestions, your judgments are not under any influence. Are you getting the point? Hopefully. Next one is professional behavior. Professional behavior is again very important. A professional accountant must comply with relevant laws and regulation and avoid any conduct that might discredit the profession. Your attitude, your behavior should be professional. Your behavior should be should comply with all the laws and regulation. Whether you're working in a certain organization, you're working in multicultural organization, you're working in some country as well. So there should be different laws and regulation and ethical values in different countries, different organization. If you're working in Pakistan, there might be different laws and regulation, ethical situations in multinational, or if that is some owner or sole traded company, then there might be some different ethical situations and might be different laws and regulations. So you have to follow and comply with laws and regulation, and be professional. Your behavior should reflect professionally. Next one is professional competence and due care. A professional accountant must attain and maintain professional knowledge and skill at the level required to ensure that a client or employer receives competent professional services based on current developments in practice, legislation, techniques. Yes, professional competence means, like in ACCA, there is a CPD, continuing professional development. Means if new ISA is coming, if new IFRS is coming, you should be up to date. If any relevant news that is related to your organization, related to your profession, that should be up to date. If there are new skills you should adopt, like recently Power Query and Power BI introduced by Microsoft, and various organizations are using that. And if it is not just will be helpful in your career growth, it would be also helpful in your uh, professional career, right? So you should be up to date. You should remain active. What is going on in the current world? You should be up to date with your profession. What are new developments? What are the new standards, accounting standards, and all that? So because you're a professional accountant, so all these knowledge is required for you to remain updated from these required knowledge. Are you getting the point? CPD is a very good example of that. CPD ensures that you are up to date and you are developing continuously, right? Moving forward, integrity. Integrity is very, very important. Integrity is like honesty, and honesty the key, right? A professional accountant must be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships, because if you are not if integrity is not in your behavior, then you are not complying with the ACC code of ethics. Integrity is not just important from the professional life, it is also very, very important with your personal life as well. So I will suggest do comply with the integrity, not just in your personal life, but in a professional life as well, right? Next one is confidentiality. Like if you are an auditor and going to the clients, you have lots of confidential information like company meeting minutes, uh, different strategic information you might also get during the course of the audit. So confidentiality is extremely, extremely important, not just from the external audit point of view. If you are working in some firm, if you are disclosing that information, that might give an advantage to the competitor of your organization. So confidentiality should be maintained at all levels if you are working in any organization, not just an external audit firm. So let me read it. A professional accountant must respect the confidentiality of information acquired as a result of professional business relationships, whether these are professional relationships or business relationships. Whatever knowledge you have about your organization, you should hide them. You should not disclose without the relevant consent. If you're an auditor, you can, if for example, if you're on a client from an audit firm and working on external audit, and if you have certain information, you should at least suggest with your seniors, in case of there is a need of disclosure. So you should suggest from your seniors, and you can suggest from the higher management of the relevant client as well. So in that case, you can disclose that information. Otherwise, you should keep it yourself, not disclose that information, because confidentiality, like I said, is the key. So these were the five components of ACC fundamental principle. There is one more para about confidentiality. They should not disclose any such information to third parties without proper and specific authority. Like I said, you can ask from the higher management, or you can discuss with your seniors, unless there is a legal or professional right or duty to disclose. If there is very necessary legal, there is a legal requirement or professional requirement, so you need to disclose that information. In that case, you can disclose, but there should be some procedure as well, right? Such confidential information should not be used for personal advantage of members or third parties. Like if there are some strategic information, the share price of the company will go up. So here it is more difficult for you, that and you that the share price of that company is going up, and you are trading also. It's for a type of insider information that so you should not disclose, not just disclose to the others, or don't take it for your personal advantage as well, right? So that is basically ethics. It's like uh, compromising on your personal feelings as well, right? So ethics is basically that. Law and ethics are two different things, right? Law, you must have to comply, whereas ethics is just on you, how you're acting in certain situations, how you are acting in such a certain ethical situations, right? Moving forward, examples, these are basically examples from ACCA code of ethics that ACCA committee has issued, where certain members of ACCA have are found guilty in different in previous five component, like IPOC, integrity, confidentiality, professional competence, professional behavior, and objectivity. So these are certain examples we are discussing here. The number one is about integrity. A member was found guilty of misconduct because they signed the auditor's reports without conducting any audit work. They didn't work on they never worked on the audit. They never work for in the context of audit, and contrary to the fundamental integrity, because they are not working and they have not performed an audit, and without that they are issuing the auditor's report. That is obviously a huge flaw in, you can say, a flaw in integrity. Are you getting the point? Next one is, a member was found guilty of misconduct because they failed to advise a client to have an audit when an audit was required by law. There was a requirement of an audit by a certain company, but the member of ACCO failed to disclose or identify that the audit was required, by, contrary to the fundamental principle of professional competent due care, that that certain guidelines are there, that this certain, because there are certain benchmarks that if the company's profit or revenue, it vary from country to country, the profit and revenue and share price and EPS, all of that, if are from certain are above from certain benchmark, then you have to perform the audit. So if that is the case in your country, and if you are not identifying, although but you are not identifying and informing your client that it is a misconduct, and you would be found guilty, uh, of professional competence and due care, because but you are not identifying to your client. Are you getting my point? Next one is a member was found guilty of misconduct because they failed to reply to correspondence sent by a third party, and ACCA, contrary to the fundamental principle of professional behavior, um, you had to uh, reply on a correspondence by a third party, but you failed to do so. So in that case, again, it is a misconduct, and you would be found, uh, you would be like, in negligence with this professional behavior. So ACCA will call you or whatever. So these are and you don't know, but in case you are found guilty or of misconduct of these professional components, then you will be, ACCA will provide you a lot of punish, will give you a lot of punish, right? Moving forward, a member was found, this is a case of confidentiality, right? A member was found guilty of misconduct because they lost possession of client's books and record to a third party, contrary to the fundamental confidentiality. The person has lost the important books and important documents, and records to a third party. So yes, it is a case of confidentiality. You're breaching confidentiality. So again, ACC will punish you in that case. If ACC will get to know that you are in non-compliance of this thing, then ACC will punish you or may give you fines as well, or may remove you from your may remove you from ACCA membership register. Are you getting my point? Next one is a member was found guilty of misconduct because they carried out an audit of a company in which they owned shares without implementing appropriate safeguards according to the fundamental. The member was involved in an audit, but he was also owning the shares of the same company. So he might have some soft corner for that company, right? Because he has invested in that company. So your objectivity and independence might compromise in that case. There are certain safeguards that we will be discussing in my future video, because there are different threats to your independence or objectivity that we need to discuss during the learning phase of this paper, not just at F8 level, audit assurance level, but at the advanced level as well. So these were a few examples, and these were the ACCA fundamental principles that we discussed today. Hopefully you understood everything. If you have any queries, comments, questions, you can comment below my video. Keep watching my videos, and keep sharing my video. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. I will be with another video on another interesting topic regarding its audit and assurance. So till then, goodbye. See you all.